Hello, this is Dan from the QA Academy, or QA Bootcamp. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I want to call it anymore. But this is Avowed. Avowed came out, I think it was about a week ago now, and yeah, I played it for about an hour, and I really like it. But I want to go ahead and do maybe an hour or two of QA beforehand and show you guys how I would usually do it. I'll try and skip. There we go. So I'm going to make two versions of this video, one being sort of, the uncut, just me testing, sort of showing how I would do it in a sort of loose way. Usually I would write down, make test plans and stuff like that for myself, and sometimes I wouldn't, depending on the complexity of the testing that I'm doing. But let's not get into that. Let's just get into this craziness. God, that's so weird. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's just pick a preset, and I don't really want to test character creation because that could be a whole like freaking day's worth of testing at least on its own. So, all right, we will just go through all the preset stuff and get it going. I don't really want to spend too much time on this. Yeah, what he said. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't override my other save, but if it does, oopsies. I think I have manual saves. Not sure. Damn. Probably should have checked. Oh well. Too late now. I'm going to try and skip story stuff just so I don't spoil anything, but yeah. There will be probably some spoilers here and there. Like I said, I'm only playing the first, hour or 2 hours maybe. And I probably won't even get past the opening area. Like with QA, you kind of have to go through over everything with a fine-tooth comb. So I doubt you'll even... If I could stay here for 5 hours and probably not leave the starting area. Got to be nice and thorough. And also the other version, I'm just going to try and make other version of the video. I'm just going to make it nice and short and sort of cut to the bugs. And then also I'm going to cut it up and make shorts out of it, which... using every part of the buffalo, I suppose. And you may see things cut here and there just because, I might get a phone call or something along those lines. Never know. So if you see hard cuts here and there, that's probably why. I just either got a phone call or, something interrupted me. Oh, and starting off, as with any of these videos, I don't... finding a bug in a video in a game is not a complaint. It's not something that I hold against them. It's not a critique on the quality of the game at all. It's just, hey, here's a bug. Because every single game is going to have bugs. I would have never look at it, like if a game was like overrun, just completely just swimming in bugs, like they obviously could not have, done a really good job of QA. That's very, very rare. But that's something I won't even make a video about those usually if I'm running across that thing, because I'm sure something happened that I'm unaware of, and to critique that. But yeah, so like I don't like to say that the quality of a game has anything to do with whether it has bugs or not, because every game has bugs. No, I'm rambling. Huzzah! I'm good at that.
You're alive. Thank the gods I pulled you out the wreck when I did. I wasn't about to let the Emperor's envoy die on my watch. At least the journey's not completely lost. I heard the cannons. I couldn't... The name's Garrison, quarter gunner, 3rd Adherent Flint. We spoke on the voyage. Never thought we'd end up like this. I've been here before. We've got an outpost on this island, but...
Like I guess I'm going to try and skip most story stuff, so that's going to include dialogue. Can't make me. Tell me what to do.
At least some supplies survived.
Okay, yes, I understand. Thank you.
You look like a dab hand with that. I don't understand. Why would they fire on us, their own people?
So I could just sit here forever and look at even just art bugs, because there's always in every game, especially like a 3D polygonal game, like this one, there's going to be a bajillion art bugs. They're just impossible to to completely get rid of. So like this over here, like this branch obviously does not have collision, not a big deal, like who kind of cares, like, but I would still bug it and just, you know, say, hey, this thing doesn't have collision, whatever you want to do with it, do it, you know, kind of thing. So it's obviously going to be marked shippable. You know, little things like this right here, you know, some invisible collision here. I can see I could maybe Skyrim my way up this thing, I don't know. But yeah, little stuff like that I kind of don't want to spend too much time on because it is kind of just busy work. It is important work, obviously, to bug all the art stuff and make sure that they know about it and mark it shippable or fix it. It's a little off. Kind of wonder what's going on there. But anyway, just little stuff like that, like clipping stuff here. Like if you'll look here, you can see some stuff clipping into each other. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on that just because that's the kind of thing that, yeah, you notice and then you move on. There's not a whole lot to teach about that kind of testing.
Ah, well, I suppose they were using that either.
So one of the first things I like to do, especially at a tutorial-like level, is try and find a way to kill the player character. Maybe there's a way they can drown, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Drowning's usually, they'll almost always pick a... almost in the tutorial level, there's almost always, in every game, there's almost always water for some reason. I don't know why. They always put water next to, like, every tutorial opening level ever, but, you know, hey, I'll work with it. So, yeah, a lot of times the game just doesn't know how to process a character, your player character dying, like, so early. Into the beyond, baby. Come on. Holds a little long on that screen, man. That's not a bug. It's just kind of, I don't know. Wish they would shorten it up. Oh, what is happening? That's kind of weird. I'd mention that. I'll do it again. See, maybe it's the effect from the water. I wonder if I can die some other way and it will do that or not. I see this is the kind of testing that we kind of do, like that weird fade in. I would probably bug that. It might be something they're not interested in, but I also want to try and find a way to kill the player character that's not drowning, just in case it was just that effect that they put on the screen. So like, let me get under real quick, drag my camera under. So it's probably like an effect that it's putting on the screen right now to make everything kind of like wobbly and warbly and stuff like that, like you're underwater. I just kind of wonder if that same weird light effect would happen if I killed the player character not drowning. Sorry, it's kind of, you'd think it would be easy to talk and play a game at the same time, but it's really not as easy as you'd think it would be. And I'm in third person too, just because I kind of wanted to see if I can catch any like animation issues. And yeah, nothing big yet. I could just go back to first person, that way I can see art bugs a little easier, but like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time on art bugs. Let's see if I can get low enough. All right, there we go. And that'll be easier for me to get him offed. I keep trying to avoid saying the phrase "kill myself," but yeah, I'm trying to kill myself here. Get my character to kill himself. I'm not sure if there's a proper fall distance. Did I take any damage? I don't think I took any damage. Dang. I don't see anything high enough to really jump off of unless we get on top of those trees or something. Oh, that was, huh. Alright, so sprinting. That was kind of weird. Oh, okay, so put my hands down to my side. Pull the trigger. That looks normal. That's weird. So, like, whenever you're arming, disarming without a weapon, so like that sheath, unsheath animation that it usually has when you have a weapon equipped, it looks a little funky. So if you're moving while doing it, pull the trigger, yeah, it kind of like puts his hands down and puts them back up. It's even weirder when I put them away. Yeah, that's super weird. All right, so yeah, I would definitely bug that. I would probably say, you know, something along the lines of exactly what that is. When you're, quote, sheathing or unsheathing an unarmed, you know, without having a weapon equipped while moving, the animation of the top half of the character does not blend particularly well with the bottom half of the character. And then just obviously include a video of that. And you probably, if you had the debug commands, you could probably Yeah, you could probably get the actual name of the animation. That might be helpful for them, although I'm pretty sure they'll know exactly what's happening. Alright, we'll see what it does with an actual weapon equipped. Oh, I get it. Please, thank you.
You look like a dab hand with that.
That's not too bad. It doesn't look great, but
Why would they fire on us? They're
yeah, it looks fine.
no use.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. I think it's just the unmanned, or unarmed, that makes it weird. Alright, let's do this. Kill me! There were quite a few places whenever I wasn't even testing that I found that it looked like it was going to let me get pretty far outside the level. Dang, can't get it to hurt me. I'll show you when I get there, but along the edge of the map, there's like this lip that goes along the whatchamacallit, the sort of the outer edge of the castle around the ramparts. I'm not sure what you call them, but ah, damn. Yeah. And I kind of want to see how far I can get on that with being in third person, because the first person I was able to get like almost all the way around the freaking castle. Hey, I got damaged. Alright, cool. So one thing I haven't made a video about yet, and I kind of want to make a video about, is like the reasons why you wouldn't want to get into this industry. I'm sure if you follow the game industry at all, game industry news, you'll know it's not the happiest place in the world to work right now. I love my time in the game industry. It's absolutely incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. That being said, there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to get into this industry. But I'll try and... There's obviously the pay and the treatment and stuff like that, which has been done to death. But I kind of want to talk about some other stuff, too. Sort of like... It can ruin playing games for you. And I think I've mentioned this before about how it kind of lets you see how the sausage is made. So you... For instance, like, I see people go... There we go. Ah. I see, I would almost say that the claw sim doesn't look too good whenever you ragdoll and die, but anyway, it'll kind of ruin the games for you sometimes. Like, and I've used the example of like when you start seeing the difference between LOD pops, like when you're looking off in the distance. The first thing that I noticed that really bothered me, okay, that might be an intentional effect, so I would mention it and maybe not give it a high priority, so it might be very intentional, but anyway, yeah, it's weird because the first thing that I ever noticed, like, and I just couldn't unsee, was trees, like LOD's trees. So like these trees in the distance and stuff. I started testing whenever the PlayStation 2 generation was still around. And whenever you saw trees in the distance, they would pop between very low LOD, jaggy, not good looking stuff, and, you know, a good looking tree when you got up close. This game doesn't do that a whole lot of that. This generation actually has done a lot better job of that. But that's something that I just can't unsee anymore. Like, I'll see things in the distance sort of pop between a good model and a crappy model. If I see something like that, I'll let you know in this. I probably should have had an example before I talked about it, but yeah, it's little things like that. And probably the bigger thing for me is that working as a designer and stuff for so long and QA, I know how tricks are done. And what I mean by that is, like, everybody, a good example, actually, you know, I know an example, Control, fantastic game, masterfully created, done. I absolutely love that game. It is a really, really, really good game. But everybody just fell in love and went gaga over the freaking ashtray maze. And I liked it a lot. I did. But, you know, once you sort of learn a lot about, you know, how certain tricks are done in the game industry, you look at stuff like that and you're like, oh, I know exactly how they did that. And it kind of ruins a little bit of the magic for you. So I would say go into this job or this industry knowing that some of that magic can absolutely be lost. Yeah, and it's not fun to sit and think about, you know, some of the most magical moments in gaming possibly being not so magical for you. So it's something to keep in mind. But another thing that I really have problems with is I love, like I say, I love my time in the industry. I would love to die at my desk. It's something I want to do for the rest of my life. It's absolutely fantastic. But whenever I get off work, a lot of times I don't want to play games. Like usually when I got home from playing games, before I joined the game industry, I'd get home. Yeah, hell yeah, we're going to play some Monster Hunter. We're going to play, Smash Brothers. We're going to play something, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. But, whenever you're making games, a lot of times you get home and you're like, I don't, I love video games still, but I don't want to play them right now. And it's sort of, I think I sort of take a page from Conan O'Brien's book, when he was talking about late night, when people talk to him about late night, he's like, yeah, I still love it. I'm a student, of the craft, of the medium. But it's like driving a bus. Like if you were a professional bus driver for 30 years or something like that, and then someone comes to you and says, oh man, I absolutely love the way you drove the bus, or I absolutely, love talking about driving buses and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, it's great, but I'm kind of tired of driving the bus. Like it's fine. I'm just tired of driving the bus, so I totally get that sentiment. Water kind of looks like dookie down here. I'm gonna stab you, water. I stabbeth thee. But yeah, all the other stuff, a lot of the other things in gaming where it's, hey, you aren't going to get paid well. You're going to be long hours. Yeah, that's something there's been a lot of ink spilled on that, and I'm not going to, relitigate that too much. It's all there for everybody to see if they're interested. All right, so I think I've died enough times in this area. Let's go ahead and move on. And I've stammered enough. I wish that timer was a little lower. That's just designer in me, not necessarily the QA in me. It's more a little clippy. That's okay. And it's always important to take into account like the budget and team size for games like this. Like this game looks, for the budget and team size that it had, this game looks fantastic, especially since it got rebooted like 4 times. I mean, yeah, it looks great. What is stress speaking? Oh, okay. Stabby, stab. And this is something I would do for mission testing, is just like try and die in every single objective. Try and die in every way and every objective you can. So yeah, I might be able to, die here just by getting killed, or I could start this fight and drown myself, or I could start this fight and leave the area. I could do a lot of different things here to try and that's just dying. That's not even, all the other things that I could do here. Like if there were a way for me to trick this guy into like going to another part of the level, or getting stuck somewhere, or trying to get my follower stuck somewhere, there's just like a bunch of different things we could do. Like I said, I'm down here, like what's gonna happen if I get outside the circle? Is it like abandoning the combat? Okay, so yeah, it's look like it's gonna abandon combat. So does that mean he's gonna die up there? Where's Garrick? Where did he go? He just healed. Is he still up there? Wonder where he went. Oh, I can't kill these things. I didn't kill him my first time around. Oh, hey, Garrick. Sorry, buddy. I'm just testing, I swear. I didn't mean for you to die. What's up? You got me. God, I wish I didn't have to stare at that screen forever. That'd be one of the first things I'd ask for as a debug command, is like, hey, can I turn off the Into the Beyond screen after death? If you, I really think this is probably got to be the most boring thing in the world for you guys to watch this. What is this? I wonder how I made that. That's another thing about QAs. You have to reproduce everything, and if I'm just sitting here like teaching or having fun, I tend not to, reproduce too much. But yeah, I would try to reproduce everything you can. All right, so I die 5 fall damage. Can I not die if I fall damage right now? Let's try it from up here. Damn it. That ain't gonna make it. Oy. Wish there was a way to adjust the sort of like radius of where your stick needs to be for the dash, because this feels like pretty generous more towards the dash than it is like running and jumping. But that's just could be me. I'm an old man. I like to complain. It's sort of my whole job. This sort of QA's job. It's just complain, basically. Find shit that looks wrong, complain about it. Definitely take videos of the cloth sim freaking out every time you ragdoll. It's really weird. It's like it can't figure out how to calculate both. And I get that, man. Cloth sim is hella complicated. Like, super hard to do. But yeah, this is pretty much what I do, is just, find different ways to break the game and do a bunch of different stuff you just don't think people would usually do. Because I guarantee if you do it, if you thought to do it, someone else is going to do it. Now, maybe that'll be outside the realm of, regular gameplay possibilities that they don't really care about. Fine, so be it. That's great. But, you just can't take fall damage there, I guess. Huh. So I've died to him. What if I could just keep going? Like, completely ignore him. Woo there, buddy. Can I trigger that again? No? Dang. But yeah, basically just try to do different stuff out of order. So like, say I've got the objective to get him, right? Well, I know my next objective is up here. What if I just ignore him and go in there? Or like I did there, just kill one of them, like basically do half the objective and then go in there. Yeah, mix stuff up, Just, basically they're all just toys in your toy box. You just figure out how you want to play with them. Every objective, every object, it's just all toys for you to play with. And smash together in different ways.
They've torn the place apart from the inside. Did they? Were they fighting each other? Envoy, I don't like this. Careful.
Hey, you're supposed to be following me, bro. Hey, look, I'm a bad guy. Come get me. Oh, damn. Alright, well, I tested that, I guess. I'm dying to that, dude. But yeah, I mean, this is what, when people ask me, say, hey, why don't you ever do full-on, recordings of you doing QA? This is why, because it's not the most exciting thing in the world. And, I don't know, maybe if I did it while live streaming and talking to folks, that might work. Maybe make it a little more interesting. But yeah, my internet right now is not optimal to be able to do that, unfortunately. When I'm at my other location, yeah, I could probably do that, but here, not as much. But even still, it's just like, I don't know, this just seems really, really boring to watch, I would imagine. I mean, I enjoy doing it. I love doing this stuff, but I just can't imagine this would be popular for you guys. So that's why I'm going to do multiple versions of this. Alright. This is pretty much as far as I was able to get before. Yeah, because it looks like there's like an invisible wall here to keep me from going too far. Alright, they knew. They knew. I'm just really kind of surprised. I would actually kind of bug the fact that you can get over there at all. I would probably bug, you know, that you can stand along these ledges and stuff. This is also kind of weird. Well, I guess I wouldn't bug that. It's pretty, like, super duper minor. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Oi, dick. Do you see I'm working here? Yeah, kill him. Kill Garrick. I wonder if I can kill Garrick. Oh. Bet you do. But yeah, I would probably come out here and be like, hey, you probably shouldn't be able to mantle along those ledges, or, you know, pretty much like the moment you jump out here, I would think it would say, hey, no, you can't, you're not supposed to be there. Get out of there. Just not have any collision there, you know, just make it, have you slide down and hit that kill box down at the bottom. The kill volume. All right. What's up? Nom 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 nom. Okay. But yeah, I mean, no major bugs so far with the with all this. Where's Garrick? Oh, there he is. Aye, cock. Hey, I'm testing here. Oh, he just sort of disappeared. That was weird. I'll bet you they'd have no idea. I mean, how else would you handle that? I guess put some kind of wall or something there. I don't know. I feel like that's probably the best way they can handle that. Just find a way to make it where you can't move on. Oh, you cock. Where am I supposed to go after this? See if I can't just ignore these guys. Does not look like I can. Don't mind me. I'm just looking where I'm supposed to go next. Oh, maybe up there? Doesn't look like I can quite get up there. Well, maybe, and this is one of the reasons why I say it's always important to be pretty intimately familiar with the mission whenever you're testing it, because you want to run through it, make sure you know exactly what objective it is, you know, what's being asked of you, all that stuff. You want to make sure you get all that all that figured out. Whoa, you bastards. Hey, now I can go through this door. Alright. So that's probably what they should have done up here. Now I wonder if that guy's stepped back. I wonder if I can get up there again. Doesn't look like it. Looks like that's a one-way. Yeah, you'll notice a lot in games. There's always these one-way checkpoints. These gating devices. It's like, alright, you can go down here, but you can't go back up. That is one of those spots. Oh, it doesn't ring.
Up there. Margarine's Fury. That'll do it.
Someone there. Over here. Help! Oh, God. What's the matter with your face?
What's the matter with your face? Shut up. Alright, so I know you're supposed to talk to her and have a conversation with her. And she's like, hey, get me out. You know, the typical prison. Typical prison exchange in video games. You gotta get me out of here. I'm innocent. And end up becoming your best friend. So it's giving me that. I wonder, because I think there's a, if I remember correctly, there's like a tome down here that I can use. Maybe not.
You're not gonna let her out, are you?
I guess I need the bow and arrow. Sorry, my controller is especially clicky today. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess it's always this clicky. I just don't usually have a microphone sitting right in front of it. Alright. Let's go ahead and equip this.
Nice work.
Huh. Why do you just move like that? Boop. Yeah, it's surprisingly solid so far. I'm not, I'm really kind of shocked at how solid it is. Drown under here real quick. I wonder if there's any way I can like interact with the stranger without letting her out. So maybe like shoot arrows through the bars to try and kill her. I don't know. Trying to find a way to open it without even talking to her. Maybe open it and then kill her. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of different things I could do. Whoa! What was that? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that why? Maybe this is just a wild guess, but maybe that waterfall is applying some kind of force, backwards force to dynamic objects, or the water is applying some kind of force to dynamic objects. Probably just some volume that's pushing things back. Do I have the bow and arrow? Do not. But yeah, this back when I was doing QA on games like this was my day, man. You just pick things apart, trying to make sure they're solid. And I'll be honest, like this is pretty damn solid so far. The only thing I would like to note is whenever you're testing a game, it's nowhere near in time solid. It's nowhere near ready. It's usually much more broken when you're interacting with it, or whenever you're going to be testing it. It's not going to be as solid as this. Alright, let's go and open it up.
Wait, you can't just let her out without asking who she is.
Watch me.
Stay back. I always heard folks say you were blessed. But because
Didn't realize this conversation was so long. My goodness. Alright, you can come with us. But just because the story really wants me to have you come with us. Will she be able to get out? Yeah, I figured. Wee. I'm doing it the easy way. Just bailing. Now here's where the tome is, that's right.
There's a fire spell in there. To make quick work of the brambles. Mother's fury in a book. We've got the high ground. How should we do this? Magic's the flashy choice, I suppose.
It's so... it's so friggin' inaccurate. Oh, dick. I would obviously take a lot more time with this. if I were straight up QA testing. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the pool. Kind of want to test out that waterfall thing again. That was weird. Let me give that a shot. I mean, because that's a bug. I mean, it's not a high impact bug. The 99% of them, the ones you find, won't be. People seem to take the wrong impression whenever they see these bugs getting posted online. They're like, "Oh man, big baby, really hurt your feelings. Freaking, there's a little bit of clipping." Like, I really don't care. Like, as QA, you really have to separate yourself from the job. You can't say I have a personal attachment to any of your bugs at all. They're just bugs. It's your job. It's like I don't get to decide what gets posted and what doesn't. I just post it. If I see something that looks fucked up, I post it. We do not get to decide what is worth posting and what is not. So people definitely get the wrong idea. Ooh, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do that, but I'll take it. Boop. Where was that waterfall? Was it back this direction? I have a terrible sense of direction. Oh, no, wait, it wasn't back this far. It was down here, I believe. That's right. Okay. Boop. Yeah, okay. And then what I would do here is if I would die, see if it does the same thing again, in the same place. Then I would test it in a few other places as well, just to make sure it's not. If it's to see if it's the waterfall, or if it's something to do with this particular waterfall. Kind of use a process of elimination kind of thing. Alright, that wasn't too bad, so it didn't seem to freak out the same way. So in this case, if I were really trying to reproduce this, and I am, I would look back at my recording, and I'm always recording. So yeah, if I'm testing, I usually have OBS open. There's something called the replay buffer that it has, so it's just like constantly recording like the last 30 seconds or the last minute or so. I just hit the button to save that replay, and then review it. Just start sitting there and looking over. All right, I was sitting here. I was doing this. This was the condition of my character. Just sort of just sit there and notice. Try to note everything that was happening at the time. Because recordings are worth their weight in gold for me. Like I've been able to narrow down so many more bugs after we started recording. Using OBS and buffer and stuff, and even back in the PlayStation 2 days, I was like probably the only tester in our entire department that actually bothered to hook up a VCR. When I say VCR, I mean like an old ass VCR. didn't terrible SD picture, but it helped me narrow down so many bugs because of it. I was able to just record and figure out what the heck happened. While other people would run into it and be like, "Oh, well, I remember doing this," and they try to reproduce it, and it doesn't work. And I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah. If you're recording, you would definitely know." And and I get why people didn't want to record. I mean, we had these like nice HD picture TVs. They were really nice, and it's to run a VCR through it made it look kind of weird. But I was willing to sort of take that graphical fidelity hit if it meant that I could track down like a crash or something like that. That's very difficult to narrow down. But I'm not recording. I am recording right now, but I'm not doing the buffer just because that's not the point of me making this video. Is I wanted to just show how I process QA, and I apparently picked the wrong game to do it because, man, this is pretty solid there. Friggin', why am I blanking on the name all of a sudden? Oh, what was that? That was a pretty big performance hit. Kind of wonder what happened there. The problem is testing on PC, it's always hard to tell exactly what the performance hit came from. Could be just some random, thing in the background. eating up the processes. I wonder if it took that bottle. Oh, it didn't. Alright, good. Owie. Obsidian. God, why was I blanking on the name? Yeah, Obsidian. Yeah, guys at Obsidian do good work, man. They really passionate about what they do. They know how to make video games, which seems to be a dying art form. Like, know how to manage properly, which is really, really tough. You would think it'd be easy, but, you know, trying to wrangle 100, you know, developers to do something you want them to do and try to have one single cohesive vision with it is tough. But it seems to be a lot of big developers, especially publishers, have lost the ability to do this. All right, so I know I'm supposed to like talk to, and then we took damage the first time, but he didn't the second time. Kind of wonder what's going on there. Let's see what happened there. See if he has damage on him whenever stuff goes down. Doesn't even have any damage on him. Whoa, guy. Back up. I got no beef with you. Damn, woman. Damn, man. Damn.
Probably some noble who bought his commission. Now look at him.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least he's not suffering.
But yeah, if the Outer Worlds was Obsidian's answer to Skyrim, or not Skyrim, but Fallout, then this is Obsidian's answer to Skyrim. It's good. Like it's solid. I've got like I think 5 hours into it, and I enjoy it. Like, is it the most amazing? Oh my god, incredible experience of my life? Nah, it's fine.
My name's
Than mine. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry. Oh, what awful stench.
See how far it'll let me go out before it sends me back. There's that invisible wall. Yeah, we're all good. Whoa. Yeah, I'd probably bug this. Dang, I didn't make it to the top. Alright, so I'll just come back out here. And this is, you know, it's obviously not that big a deal. It's not going to be a game-breaking issue, but if that model of rock is somewhere else, it's probably going to be that way everywhere. So that's one thing I try to tell people when it comes to like art testing is if you run across, like say if, oh, come on. So if you came across like say a mailbox in a game and it had a bunch of weird textures or didn't look right and it was all messed up and stuff like that, usually if you would encounter that mailbox anywhere in the game, it would be the same way. It would always have that exact same texture issue. So it's not like that one particular mailbox on that one particular corner has the issue and none of the others do. It's basically just a model that's been replicated over and over and over again. So like say this barrel right here is the exact same model. Well, may not be that exact same model. Hang on. But let me see where's okay. So let's say these barrels. So it's like these aren't all different files. This is just the same file that's been replicated over and over again. The same object that's just been replicated over and over again. So if there were a problem with like say the spigot on the end where it didn't look quite right, the spigot on all of these would look all messed up. It's not necessarily an issue with one particular item. Blah 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 blah. So apparently it won't let me go out there until I get him with me. Okay. Wee. Yeah, now it'll let me go. Okay. Wonder what that is way out there. Some kind of seam or hole or something floating out there. May have to go out there and see if I can't find what it is. Okay, so here we are at the invisible wall again. I'm going to try and find that model of rock. I think it's about through here, maybe. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. And roop. Yep. Alright. Alright, so yeah, I would just basically get a video of me going in and out of the video or out of the rock like that. Try to figure out where it is on the map. If I had coordinates, I would obviously, include coordinates, but I don't. Yeah, so I would just say the location on the map. If I had the debug commands to tell what model of rock this was, I would use that. But I don't, so yeah. Yeah, that seems to be pretty much the bug for that one. Interesting. And one thing I might do if I did have the command, if I had the ability to see what model of this rock was and be able to figure it out, I would probably just turn on show model for everything around me, and I know that would really be screwed up, but I would sort of untether my camera and go around to see if I can't find that model of rock somewhere else. And if it is somewhere else, if it not having collision causes a problem there, because here it doesn't really cause much of a problem. It's just more cosmetic than anything. But if we were able to find this somewhere else, like say if that were rock were positioned somewhere where it's supposed to be blocking the player from getting somewhere, and then it doesn't have collision, that's a problem. Am I out of the item? Hang on. Am I out of potions? I'm out of potions, I think. Potion seller. I must see the potion seller. Yeah, this is one of the parts of QA is just going around and bumping up against everything, making sure everything has proper collision. Yeah, I'd probably bug this. That's a pretty heavy clipping into this. Yeah, I would bug that. It probably has more to do with the collision capsule on the character than it does anything else. Because about where the tome is, or the grimoire on my butt, that's about where the collision capsule probably is for a character when they're swimming. And that's why they're able to clip in so heavily to like right there. So that's going to happen pretty much everywhere that has good collision. So I imagine that's probably just going to be big fat shippable, or cannot fix. This is the kind of task where I would just turn on some music or a YouTube video or something like that and then swim around the water for a while, just trying to find stuff. Maybe try to find some places to get out of the world, that kind of thing. I'm hoping at some point I'm able to get a spell or item or something that lets me breathe underwater. That would be ideal. Still kind of want to know what that is, but I don't have camera slew and it stops me right here. It doesn't look right. I would probably still post a bug on it even though it's like 3 pixels wide. Yeah, I would just say, get a shot of the map, try to estimate where it is. So just be like, hey, let me see the west, yeah, sorry, southwest corner of the map of Dawn Shore. There's some floating object in the distance it could be seen, so something along those, paraphrase. Okay, let's see what else we got. I just know if I drown again, it's gonna freaking make me go through that conversation. Boo. Yeah, let's just drown. Well, actually, I kind of want to see what's over here. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. No. Come on. Dang it. Oh well. So I am a little interested in the fact that they won't let you get into the water until after you've talked to your new follower. I kind of wonder if what's going to happen if I do manage to get out there. Oh, never mind. I guess it auto-saved. Okay then. No longer applicable. But if I were, for real testing this, I probably would reload a save before then and test it out. Interesting. So I pushed the button for the potion, and it says out of item, which is, obviously fine, but it says it twice. So I'll push it one time, and it has one that's sort of like a more faded out version, and then another one that's like got an outline to it. So, I mean, yeah, it's incredibly minor, but yeah, I would go ahead and bug that, just as is. When you don't have any health potions, and you push the quick connector, quick button to try and use them. But I do want to get out of the water and make sure that it happens out of the water as well. All right. Bam, bam. Now this is full health. But it does the same thing. So it doesn't seem to be dependent on whether I'm in the water or not, which is good. I don't know why it would, but, you never know. I've seen weirder things. That does not look right. Yeah, I would bug this. I imagine that barrel and scoop is probably supposed to be there whenever this particular model of boat is flipped right side up instead of upside down. I'm going to guess that's the case with everything else here too, because it looks like there is a mast and a sail on this ship, and it is just kind of placed into the rocks. It took a boat and turned it upside down, which is fine. It's going to look a little weird, but that's okay. I say it's also, I always like to say it's not, you hear me commonly say that it's not QA's job to decide whether something should be bugged or not. But also keep in mind that it's also not QA's job to decide whether it should be fixed or not. Do we have a say in that? Yeah, absolutely. And we should too, because, we experienced the bug firsthand. We know exactly how difficult it was to get, how, egregious it was, because a lot of times, videos and pictures don't really do it justice how bad or not bad a bug is, because I've had bugs where literally the entire screen is covered in something, like it looks awful, like something absolutely horrid. Whenever it's in a screenshot, it looks terrible, but when you dig into like a video file of it, it's like, okay, it was literally for like 2 frames. So yeah, it's not always easy to tell exactly how bad or bad or not bad something is. Usually it's a good idea, if you're not sure, to get the actual tester's stance on it and how they felt about it, which, you're not going to be asked that very often. But yeah, you will sometimes be asked about it. I haven't tried playing with the pistols yet. Interesting. Okay, so I can't aim. Alright, cool. That's another thing that's you don't actually see it that much anymore. Because usually you have to try really hard to make it happen. But if you ever get your character stuck somewhere where they can't get out at all, like they're just stuck there until they reload, that's a pretty big bug. It may sound like a pretty minor thing, but yeah, if it happened like sort of naturally and it wasn't that big a deal, it actually kind of just happened on accident, that's a really bad bug. That's considered a soft crash, which, you know, with the word crash being involved, yes, it is that bad. But if you had to, like, you know, do 1,000 different things and, you know, sort of jump along an edge over and over and over again, and it takes you like 15 really complicated steps, it's still a soft crash, but it's a soft crash that needs to be assessed and whether it's actually worth, you know, sort of something worth fixing. Gosh, I could tell stories for days about various QA intricacies and idiosyncrasies. So, like, let's see. We had one problem on Saints Row 2, I think is what it was, where we had a problem where if you were holding a two-handed object, like a barrel or something that you could throw, and you went to a piece of collision, like a wall or something like that, that had a right angle, like pointing out, sort of like this rock, like it sort of has two sides that are making it into a point. If you sort of ran along that edge while holding that object, it had trouble calculating the collision for both you and the barrel, or, you know, the two-handed object, so you would be able to pass through the wall easily. I remember I kind of got in a lot of trouble whenever we had discovered that bug, because our art person had said, hey, we need you to go through and find every object, every piece of collision that this happens in. We need to find them all. And I, you know, having done this for a really long time, was like, no, I think this is more just a generalized physics problem that the, you know, physics guys are going to have to take care of. And they said, no, it's not that. So we kind of butt heads on that for a little bit, and they had the whole friggin' QA department, not just art, just everybody, gathering these things. And I kind of broke rank, and I shouldn't have, but I broke rank. And because I knew one of the guys in the physics programming, the programming department, but he was specifically for physics. And I went to him and I showed him the issue, and I'm like, this is just one bug, right? This isn't something that you have to have every single instance of, is it? And he said, absolutely not. It's definitely one bug. And then I kind of got in trouble because I went back into there and I went to the QA manager and I said, this is one bug. We are literally wasting thousands upon thousands of dollars every hour that we continue to spend on this task whenever we could be spending it on other things. And yeah, so ever since then, the art lead kind of really hated me after that. And I feel bad about it, you know, but at the same time, we had such limited time left, and I shouldn't have done it, you know, but I was technically more senior than the guy, which doesn't really matter, but that's the excuse that they gave for why that he should have listened to me, and I felt really bad because he kind of got a dressing down, and I felt, you know, pretty terrible about it. And we're cool now. We got along, you know, fine. We sort of talked about it, and I apologized to him, and he said he apologized to me, saying he should have, you know, got it right. But there's a little too much personal information in this story. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's like it's you kind of just gotta know. And she's like, people ask me, how did you know that? And I'm like, it's just experience. That's all it is. It's not necessarily that I, you know, had some kind of special vision or something like that. It's not anything that I had special training or anything along those lines. It's just having been doing QA for so long, I was able to tell, you know, this is just one bug. So I hope you guys didn't fall asleep during that incredibly long and arduous story. Not the right word to use there, but I'll take it because it sounds fancy. Okay, not finding a whole lot of bugs. I guess right now I'm just kind of playing, and that's one thing I always try to tell people to be careful of. Make sure you don't catch yourself just playing the game as opposed to testing it, because testing is different from playing. So when people come up to you and say, hey, I work at, you know, as a video game tester, you know, QA, they're like, oh, cool, so you play video games all day? And I'm like, sure. Not really, but, you know, it's nothing like playing video games all day, but sure, yeah, let's go with that. It's just easier than explaining it a lot of times. Ah, God. Jesus. If I can reproduce that. Yeah, I'd bug this. It's not good looking. It'd probably look a little funky. You probably want to either reposition the house. I'm not sure if it's the collision of the chimney and the house together and the angle that it's at. So I would probably just take the location and be like, hey, when the player character stands in this spot between the roof and the chimney, they'll sort of be stuck in a perpetual landing and a perpetual landing and falling animation. Damn. Oh boy. Can I get out? Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Yeah, obviously I'd take a picture of the map. Say, yo, God bless it. I'd say, yo, here it is. Dawn Shore. God, I really wish I had coordinates, but oh well. I know they're getting grounded. That was I actually really enjoyed sort of helping them test grounded a little bit. I mean, I didn't get paid. I was just doing it, you know, for free in my free time and just emailing them the tickets. But yeah, I'll tell you what though, Obsidian, if you guys are ever looking for like a game to practice on, just make sure you're really respectful and, you know, professional and write out the tickets in a professional way. But if you do that, they're super cool. Like they've always emailed me back. They've always, you know, I even tell them they don't have to. I'm like, listen, you don't have to. It's fine. You know, I'm just reporting this for practice. And they've always said, you know, thank you. It's Obsidian's cool people, man. Like I don't know, obviously everybody there, because there's going to be uncool people wherever you go. Just keep that in mind whenever you go into the industry too. But yeah, they're really cool people there as far as I know. So, yeah, I'd get a model of this rock. I would get its location and just bug it up. Hey, you clip into this. You know, player character, the collision is not form-fitting enough to allow the player to, you know, not clip into it. Which, yeah, the swimming thing is weird. Like, again, we got to keep in mind that a lot of these probably things would not be fixed just because they have a very limited, you know, budget and team size. Like, and they had to reboot this game 4 times. I mean, granted, the end user doesn't know any of that, and they shouldn't have to worry about that at all. But that being said, it's something that as a developer I can look at and say, oh yeah, man, that's rough. They did impressive work considering the limitations that they had. And sometimes you can see little cracks. Like, let me get some air and I'll go back down. Yeah, that's another debug command I would want is unlimited air. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you can't get in there, but I would probably still bug the fact that there's like this pretty unnatural looking hole here. They probably just nudge that rock over a little bit or create a little bit more ground, a little more ground plane. And because this stuff, this is way too inside baseball, I really doubt you guys are going to care. So the rocks are all like meshes. They're models that have been modeled in like Maya or Blender or something like that. They've been created and then placed in the world. Like this, the ground geometry, like this right here, it's all smooth and, you know, like hills and stuff like that. That's like the level itself, I guess, is the way I would put it. It's just a plane that has been generated by, you know, the engine, and then saved, and then like they use a tool to auto propagate like rocks and stones and weeds and all that kind of stuff, and just sort of replicate them across the floor. And then someone usually comes in and places all these rocks. So while that is like sort of more generated, like the ground geometry, the rocks and everything are coming in here and placed by hand. I don't know why you guys needed to know that, but I felt like you should know. I kind of wonder if that looks funky from underneath as it did before. It looked pretty funky there for a second. Yeah, I'd probably get a video of that and bug it. Okay, that's like a VFX bug. I'm not sure how they'd fix it. Maybe they'd detect whether you're underwater or not and then not display it under the water. Because it looks real funky the way it is. So yeah, I'd probably just get a video of it. Hopefully if you had the way to use debug commands to find the VFX name, get the VFX name. Yeah, and it looks a little funky, but you know, there it is. VFX bugs. They are not super common, but they're not uncommon either. So this is why I said that watching me do QA is probably going to be the most boring thing in the world. It's really just... for me, it's almost like a cozy game. I know it sounds weird, but especially with a game that's obviously not a cozy game. But just sort of like turning my brain off and going around and, you know, bumping in the walls and taking a mission and, you know, listing out all of its components that I could possibly think of, and you know, trying to scramble them up, trying to change things here and there, make sure that I try to put step C before step B and try to completely skip step A. Yeah, it's just it's a lot of like rearranging different, you know, toys. Like, just consider all the objectives and all the things in the game toys. That's all you got to do. And then just how do you want to slam them together? You know, how do you want to bolt them together to see if they'll still work or not? And hopefully they won't. I mean, hopefully they will, to be honest. But, you know, hopefully for job security they won't. It's some really funky collision on this thing because I can't go down anymore here. Can't get through here. Okay, I can go down here. Oh, there's no collision there. All right, hang on, I go back up. No, don't let me die. Okay, so that little error command only seems to happen whenever the thing is empty. So there we go. That's our. Oh, what? Oh, I guess I was talking. Anyway, so yeah, I best guess it has to be an empty slot. Ugh, what is that? Ugh, what? That was ugly. Okay, that's real ugly. Okay, so I can see what's happening is the wave effect isn't actually the water. So like if you get out here, it's a big plane. This water and the effect is just a big flat plane. It's not actually having waves. The waves you're seeing is just another effect that's being played on top of the big flat plane. And I guess it goes so high up that you can kind of tell where the plane is. Yeah, that's ugly. That seems super dependent on where you're probably going to be sitting, whether how ugly it is or not, because I can't seem to get it back the way it was. So yeah, and this kind of thing, if you were going to bug that, yeah, right there. Like if you were going to bug this, you'd want to make sure, obviously, you get a video. Camera, probably the camera like angle and position in relation to the plane. And yeah, just try to be document as much as you can. I doubt they'd be able to fix that because either you don't have waves or you don't have the plane, and yeah, you have to have the plane, you have to have the waves. So yeah, I don't know how they'd fix that. I'm not a VFX artist. VFX artists are genius, and I do not want to pretend that I know anything about what they do. They do incredible work. Like if you would be shocked at how much life in a game comes from the VFX. Like without VFX, a game is just flat and dead. Like without a doubt. Like it's just as important as like audio and graphics. Like it is, VFX is up there in importance. I'll be honest, and I feel that way about pretty much every discipline in game development. Like if they're all working in concert together and they're all treated with the same importance, then you're usually able to create a really impressive game. And that's usually what Obsidian does. Like they seem to appreciate each independent or each discipline and treat them all with dignity. I mean, it sounds weird, but yeah, like you'll see a lot of some studios that sort of like throw audio by the wayside, and unfortunately you see way too many studios that throw QA by the wayside. They just consider it not important enough to invest in, and that's unfortunate because, you know, we've seen what it looks like whenever a game tries to go with like either bad or, you know, no QA. Here's another boulder. No collision. I definitely get the model for that. I've been asked before that, you know, what's a discipline, because I've gone through QA, I've gone through design, I've done a little bit of production stuff, and people are, hey, do you feel design is most important or QA is most important? And I'm like, I don't, or gameplay is most important. And I'm like, I'll be honest, I think if I had to pick something, I really think audio is way up there. Don't get me wrong, I think gameplay is probably king. Gameplay needs to be really good. But man, good audio is like this. I guess it's because it's such a mystery to me. Like good audio design, I've studied audio design. That's not a big mystery to me, but even though I think it's still incredible, but like music, like being able to balance like the fact that it has to elicit an emotion on top of the fact that it has to loop for like every 2 minutes, like endlessly, and not be annoying and not be you know, tiresome. Like, it's just that whole thing is just crazy. Like, I just don't. Hang on, so you automatically draw your weapon. Okay, so it cancels that. How about... Yeah, I can't seem to break that. Alright, I'll try later. Kind of wish there was a quick button to switch back and forth between first person and third person. Anyway, I feel like I bored you guys long enough for just, you know, swimming around. So let's get to some action. Let's get to something that hopefully won't put you to sleep. I'm going to check to see if I can switch to first person. Where's third person? No, here we go, third person view. You have to play, yeah, apply. But yeah, this game would be really interesting to test just because you'd probably find a whole different host of bugs in first person as opposed to third person. And that has to be weird. You'd have to run through, you know, which one you're going to run through that day or something. Or just switch back and forth. I'd probably want a quick button switch, but that's just me. Alright. Well, I'm going to drown, and then we'll get back to... Hopefully we can find some kind of mission to do. And, you know, and that's another thing is, like I say, you always want to make sure you have your missions figured out, or your missions really well figured out, even before you start them. Because if I get a mission up here on the dock, and it says, hey, you go here... Because I think there is a mission here in just a little bit where you talk to somebody, they say, hey, clear all these critters out of my house, and okay. So what before I even talk to them, I go and like clear half the critters and then come back and talk to them. Or if I go to their house and then, because I know once you get to their house, there's like a book that you open and talk to them about too, a book that you find. So what happens if I go there and then talk to them, get the book and don't kill the critters? So what happens if I, you know, kill the critters and don't get the book? Like, so just sort of find out all the parts of the mission, and then just try and make them happen out of order, and, you know, mess them up. I think I've said that like 30 times. I'm sorry. I do repeat myself a lot, especially when I'm talking to myself. My bad, yo. God, if it only that were that easy to reload a flintlock. Jesus. Okay, so I think that lady's thing is actually right up here. Boom shakalaka, son. Okay, so if I can just go... So we're going to test that. We are going to test that. Actually, I haven't tried. Could I do a grimoire on my left and then... Ooh, I can. I like it. I approve. Gunslinging and spell slinging.
You take lead.
Well, I mean, yeah, I plan to. Shazam! I just magic knifed you, son. They know where he is, at least.
On your right. Not sure about
Shazam, son. Hey, what the hell you doing, dude? Help me out here. Now, if I were testing combat, I would probably come in here, turn on Never Die, which is just like a console command. It's called different things in different games, but we called it Never Die at Volition. Turn on Never Die. Make sure I can't take damage. And just come in here and let, you know, my followers and the enemies just go at each other. Make me.
next one's mine. Perk up, boy.
Damn, it's so jumpy, jittery. Man, what's going on with my computer? Did not mean to do that. Okay. I wish there was a way to just freaking just to hot button these, like hot button the recovery items or the food to my D-pad. I would much rather have that than like call his stuff out, or even the potion. I would rather just open up a menu if I was going to use my potion. Maybe that's just me. Okay, let's keep on trucking. Where is that lady's house? I don't remember. I'm not sure what is going on with my frame rate and stuff. It's not a bad computer. It's I mean, it's not the best, not the most updated thing. It's like 5 years old, but it was pretty damn powerful when I built it. Oh well. It could be that it just needs re-imaged. It's been a minute. I say I'm not sure if I've ever re-imaged this computer, and I've had it for like 6 years. Very minor bug, just, you know, plate clipping in the blanket. I'm not gonna sit here and document that one, buddy. Talk about the most minor of minor bugs. Let's see if I can't find that lady's. Ooh, what is going on? Something's going on. My Windows must be downloading updates or something.
Maybe we should move on.
I love that dude's voice.
Beautiful view from these cliffs. Real long way down, too. Right behind you. This one's mine. Nice shot. Coming from your right.
What in the fuck? I think what's happening is it's trying to simulate wind in these tree branches, but it just looks weird when you're up close. Oh god, it looks like it's like shaping and morphing and shifting. Ugh. Yeah, I would bug this. Like it's I don't. Yeah, I would bug this, especially since like this thing, like it doesn't animate with the tree, so it looks kind of weird. So it's actually kind of like two bugs here. One is the fact that this looks unsettling. I'm gonna say that looks like flesh being like with something running through it, like flesh tubes. And this not animating with it. It's sort of like independent of the thing. Oh yeah, there's the map, I guess. Here's the map location. Yeah, I wish I had a thing. I'm gonna pause for a second and see if there's a way to turn on any kind of coordinates. I doubt it though. I know they let that kind of happen on Grounded, but that's because it was an open beta for so long. That's probably not going to be under game, but maybe. No. Not going to be under audio. Maybe UI. Conversation, auto continue conversations. Hang on, I gotta grab something right quick. It's one crazy thing that I did not see. I didn't see happening whenever, yeah, it doesn't look like there's actually a coordinates, but one thing I didn't foresee whenever I got into QA is you can find one little piddly bug that you think is like nothing, and it might be nothing, but also I've come across bugs that I thought were nothing and they get marked shippable and they're no big deal.
They'll never stop me.
But they get marked shippable, but then they end up getting used later on in speed runs, which is bizarre. Like I have never seen that before. I never even fathomed that would happen. And that doesn't look right. I think maybe this was supposed to be down under him. This little scorch mark, I guess, maybe. I don't know. This kind of looks weird. Like his hands are now clipping inside there. His feet are clipping inside it. Yeah, I don't know. And then this book is clipping into the rock. Considering that most players are going to find this, like they're going to encounter this little thing, they're probably going to end up bugging it. I would bug it, and you know, even if it does end up shippable. But yeah, like it's crazy to find like a little bug that you think is just nothing. It gets marked shippable, and you're like, all right, no worries. And then later on, it's just like, oh wow, with that apparently that bug is being used in speedruns to try and gain optimal speed. So like, you know, I can move a little bit faster when I do this, or I can, you know, when I roll to the side, I'm able to get like just a hair inside a collision, you know. And yeah, speedrunners are freaking resourceful, man.
That's a bad sign.
I don't know how you'd fix this other than making this solid collision. I guess it could be, since it's not an actual, you know, dynamic object or anything. This is just something that's statically here. So yeah, they could probably put some collision around this, keep it from going in. So yeah, I would bug it. Okay, you can get inside this bear at this location, just north of Ivona's. Is it Ivona's or Ivona's? I don't know. Ivona's threshold. Bam. So if I do this and crouch, okay. A lot of these I could tell they're way ahead of me. They're like, they knew I'd try this. Where is this? Man, it's a pretty good looking game though. All things considered, like it's like a cheaper $40 game, supposed to be a shorter experience. Yeah, they did a pretty damn good job. Like I know they kept on saying that like, oh, don't expect a lot from this. It's, you know, it's a more of a AA budget game. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I've seen a lot of freaking $70 AAA games that aren't as well polished and made as this one. So I don't know. I gotta give them props. Of course, I'm a bit of a fanboy when it comes to Obsidian. I think they do incredible work, and I'm a big fan. So I probably am not the best person to gauge their work. No, man, I just got hit by this freaking jackass, whatever that thing is. Get wrecked. Well, good. You can fight the rest of them then. All right. I have. That is one thing. If I do end up doing more stuff on camera, or not me on camera, but doing more QA on camera, I have a horrible sense of direction. Just the other day, I was playing Resident Evil 7 with my daughter, and she was. Hang on, wait for him to shut up.
Centuries ago, much of their work still stands.
Cool, thanks, buddy. But yeah, like I was playing with my daughter Resident Evil, and I could tell she was getting frustrated. She was trying to be nice, but she's like, "You've gone over this same hallway like 4 times. I don't think this is where you need to go." And I'm like, "It's not that I disagree. It's that I'm so lost." Oh man, my kid's awesome. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. Oops, shit. Let's go ahead and find this ability here. Alright, cool. Actually, I wanted to put Fire and Ice on something too, didn't I? Fire and Ire. It's a good name. Man, I'll tell you what, I wish... God, I really wish that more games would take the system that, whatchamacallit, Final Fantasy 15 uses. Like, it is such a fantastic system. Fantastic system for controllers and, like, lots and lots of abilities. Although, knowing Square Enix, they probably have it, whatchamacallit, freaking copyrighted. Which sucks, but, you know, I guess it's their right to do. But yeah, their controller for, you know, I know it's an MMO, but man, that's... I never thought you'd be able to get an MMO to play well on a controller. I just never thought that would ever be a possible thing. But man, they freaking nailed it. I was shocked that... I was impressed. It pissed me off how impressed I was. No, he doesn't what? Man, he's just running away. Leave him alone. What are you doing, dude? Kai! No! Kai, no! Alright, I guess we're killing this thing. Good timing, buddy. You did it. You got him.
Let me speak it. Violence are getting deadlier by the day. But people have to eat.
Lockpick. Man, I'm really glad they don't do the Skyrim lockpicking in this game. Like there seemed to be like a freaking a law that if you had a game with locks in it, it had to have the Skyrim lockpicking minigame. Golly, it's just I guess it wasn't bad when it was in Skyrim, but man, they overdid it. Like not, you know, Bethesda, but like everybody else. Owie. Okay, because there's nothing in there for me. I'm just glad they don't do that in this game. In this game, it's like, hey, this takes 3 lockpicks. Do you got 3 lockpicks? Okay, cool, it's unlocked. A little bit of clipping here, nothing too egregious. Yeah. If you wanted to mention it, you probably could. Maybe should. Maybe. Yeah, and this is the kind of thing that I frequently get asked about, but like, what about every blade of grass? You know, like this stuff. Like, this is technically clipping. Would you report it? Probably not, unless it's super egregious. Like, this is acceptable for me, but it's like getting close to the borderline where it's not. Like, I'd be willing to just overlook this, but if you're ever in doubt on how persnickety you want to be or how freaking detailed you want to get, ask your supervisor. They'll tell you, all right, that's too granular. That's too discerning of an eye.
Looks like spiders. Come and get me! Here I go! Unseen.
Nom 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 nom.
Aim where? Give me a target. Where's my mark? What am I hitting? What's the target?
I'd almost bug that because it's not.
What am I hitting?
Oh, is he not?
Where's my mark?
Isn't that your mark? Can't you do fire there? Oh, I guess not. Never mind. Not a bug. I thought his little blunderbuss and that was on the same. Can I toggle that? No. I thought that was on the same thing. Or the same item. I guess I thought it was the same ability. It is not. El Fuego. Did I just burn those for the fun of it? Or, right, I guess so. I mean, it was fun, so. I gotta find where that lady's house was. Because I would like to get test out basically doing half the quest and then going and retrieving the quest. I'd also like to try, getting the quest and then getting the quest from her and then doing half of it and coming back. So like there's a bunch of different stuff you could definitely try with various missions and their quests and their out of orderness. Oh wait, wait, where am I supposed to be going? Find the strangle root. Okay, I don't think that's the right way for her stuff though. I don't know. I still worry about Obsidian being scooped up the way they were, being owned by Microsoft now. Like, so far, Microsoft has been super hit or miss on their calls of the stuff they've been doing as far as like whether it's good for the game industry or not. Yeah, a lot of it's been not great. This seems like a bug, and I've seen it a couple of times. I don't know if I would bug it or not, but I think I'd probably just mention it just in case. Let me jump up there real quick and see if I can find it. How about you shush your butt, dude? I don't want to go head to camp. Anyway, let me get back up there real quick. So it seems like anytime you kill... Yeah, I get you, buddy. Oh, God, okay, Kai. If I kill something with... Man, you are... Kai, I like you, man, but you need to... Anyway, if you kill something with the lightning spell, it leaves behind sort of like a little sparking pile, I guess, is what I would call it. I'm not sure. But the like ash pile itself like has a distortion above it, but it's like really off. Like it's really big, like almost too big, like to the point where I would probably bug it, especially since sometimes the body doesn't even stay behind, just the effect does. So yeah, I would. There's definitely something buggy about it. I don't think it's intentional. So let me go ahead and kill another one real quick, or kill a few more, because I know it has to do with that though, because I've seen it far too often for it not to be. So let's go find something else to kill. My sense of direction sucks. I want a tiny little treasure chest like that. It's adorable.
A good fishing spot until something started dragging people away.
That's the way to the graveyard. Where the devil is her house? I keep running back and forth across the same area. Like, where's her house? And like, maybe I should actually pick a direction and go. I just don't remember where it is. I don't think it's all up in here, but I want to explore this. I don't think I've seen this. And you know, there's some people I saw complaining about, like, oh, you can't search through everything, you can't look through all this other stuff, you know, and I'm like, well, good. I mean, does it really matter if I find my 500th bobby pin in, you know, this one out of the way chest? Does it really matter if I find one more health potion and, you know, a chest that, or not even a chest, just like a jar that's I had to search 15 other jars to find? Like, no, that's not interesting to me from a gameplay standpoint. That's just, I don't know, it's not interesting.
Jolly boys, seems luck is on my side. Tildy at the bathhouse, more like. Learn not to fall for it. Lucky dogs. Oh, I think you're just jealous that she likes me more than you.
So I actually kind of like walking into a room and seeing, all right, there's all the things you can pick up. I mean, I know that's people that won't like that, and I get it. And that's why there's an option to turn it off. There's also some people have the discussion of, hey, you know, if I want to play this game the way it's designed and meant to be played,
He's missing both arms. Put your backs into it. Palisades aren't gonna hold themselves.
and I get that, you know, like, because I actually made a really bad mistake one time. I hated Final Fantasy 16 the first time I played it, because whenever you first start off in that game, they give you these relics, or like these items that are unbelievably overpowered. They feel like they completely break the combat of the game. I only learned later that they were the accessibility options, and at least I thought they were like day one DLC kind of thing. I thought it was like, oh man, we bought the game day one. All right, here's your free tchotchkes. You know, here's your items that are going to be terrible. You know, that are going to suck after like 5 minutes after you've started using them. And I was like, all right, cool. So I started using them, and I'm like, wow, these are really, really powerful, and it's making all of combat like really easy. And I learned they were the accessibility options, and I felt really embarrassed. In my defense, I don't think they said they were the accessibility options at all. I don't remember them ever saying that anywhere in their description or anything like that. But yeah, so I had that mindset of, I want to play the game the way it's meant to be played, and they gave me these items. I guess I'm going to use them. Yeah, it just didn't work that way. Whee! Okay, I think this is her house up here. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to try and run in and grab the book and not kill the Zarps that are in there, because I think that's what's supposed to...
Lady named Hanga lives here.
Shazam!
This place go.
Mm-hmm.
This one's mine.
Alright, so I grabbed the journal. Oh, I didn't kill him. Bloop. Oh, it locks you in. Oh, no, wait. This locks in. I forgot I came in through a hole in the wall. Durr. Okay, so I got that. Yeah, and if I were really QAing this, I would be more methodical about it. I would sit there with like a checklist and say, all right, here's all the components of, or here's all the objectives of this this mission. You know, you give, or all the, at least all the beats of it. Like, all right, you get the mission, you go to the place, you blow up the wall, you go inside, you kill the Zarps, you pick up the book, you read it, you take it back to her, and have your discussion and wrap up the quest. So. I would sort of try and write all those out and see, all right, which one of these can I skip and just not doing? Which one of them can I do out of order? You guys know this. I've already said it like 4 times this video alone. I'm sorry, I repeat myself a lot, but hey, it's kind of weird when you're just talking to yourself. Which is another reason I guess I should stream. I don't know, streaming just always feels so... what's the word for it? Just like self-indulgent. It's like, hey, look at me. Watch me play video games. You could be playing video games yourself, I know, but watch me play video games. I just don't like that. I don't know. I'm just like allergic to ego, I guess. And I'm just so great that, you know, I don't want to seem like egotistical because I'm that awesome. I'm so amazing that I never want anyone to think I'm egotistical. What's up, Spideys? Toasty your ass. I missed point blank range. I like their little shooting critical system. You have to aim it right at the spots. I like that. I'm certain other games have done it, but I like it. I haven't really encountered it too much. Ooh. I don't think I've run into like a dungeon interior yet. Okay. Let's take a look-see. Oh my gosh, I will spend the attribute points, okay? I'm sorry I've taken so long to spend these attribute points. How about perception? There you go. Yep. Get rid of all these freaking pop-ups. All right. Bam! Don't want to kill the rats. I love rats. Highly intelligent creatures. Is that dude sleeping? Oh, come on. I was just, you know, watching you sleep. No creepy about that. No reason to be offended. Come on. Oh, shit. What's going on? Did you get him? All right.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
I'm glad you're feeling good about it there, buddy. Kind of a weird thing to encounter here. That is really heavily embedded in that rock. Just gonna pretend I didn't see that because that's weird. That's just deep enough. I'm like, It's like it's believable that some rock or something like that would form up around, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's like straight up encasing in rock, which I guess could happen. But I feel like the pillar itself would have broken. That would take so long that the pillar itself probably would have broken down by then. I don't know, unless it's made by some kind of magical space age material. Which this is a magical game, so maybe it is some kind of magic rock. Oh, I was going to kill something with lightning to retest that. That's right. My ADD is taking the best of me. ADD is getting the best of me. Some floating rocks there. Pretty obvious to see from this point, this angle. Yeah, I'd bug it. It'd just be one of those really minor bugs. Say, hey, there's some floating rocks at these coordinates in Dawnshore, in the ruinous cavern in Dawnshore. Oh, I'm supposed to do something with you, aren't I? Character, abilities, companions. Here we go. You got another one? Then what is he? Oh, it just means he just wants to talk to me at camp. That's right. I want to make sure that I actually have my... No, not autosave. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, that can't be it. Oh, no. Oh, I've got two. All right, there's two characters. All right, there's my other one. I think. Yeah, February 19th. Okay. I named them both on Void because, you know, I like to be very, very confusing. So weird that I have to tell that to do. There's so many of those. Oh, there it is. Right. I wish I could just like contextually say, you know, all right, somebody take care of this. Anybody got a fire ability? No, I don't want to be spiders. Okay, so yeah, there it is. It's doing it again. All right. Man, I am just trying to freaking show some bugs here, buddy. Bro was just waving hi to me, and he hit me. It's so weird. So rude. What in the farts? I kind of hate that you can't just close this, like, right here. Like, I can't just one button close that. Holy shark. Not really. There's a giant fucking spider trying to kill me. What is it? Why? Oh, great. God, he slowed me down. Don't like the way they blow apart so weird like that. Like no ceremony whatsoever. It's just like they're ice, and now there's like no sound effect, no explosion sound effect. Just don't, just fall to the ground in a bunch of pieces. I wonder if this is supposed to be for him. Yeah, I guess it was a little offset. I would try and reproduce that, see if I can't figure out what's going on with it. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I would just say whenever you're killing, you know, critters or anything with the lightning spell, which I would get the exact name of it. What are you called? Darn it. It is called Jolting Touch. Yeah, kill an enemy with Jolting Touch. They leave that pulsing VFX that kind of distorts the air. And it continues playing over and over again, even if the body's no longer there. Hey, I rhyme like Dr. Seuss, son. So, yeah, I guess that's about time. I've already put like over 2 hours in. So, I mean, I'm enjoying this, but the only thing is, like, I doubt you are. That being said, so yeah, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a bore, just because I kind of expected to find more bugs, and I'm both pleasantly surprised and disappointed that I didn't find more. But hey, you know what? Hats off to Obsidian. Bugs or no, you guys made a pretty fun game. So anyway, thank you very much. If you have any questions or want to see any kind of particular, you know, kind of thing, just let me know, and yeah, I'll do my best to accommodate however I can. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.